What up, world? What up, world? We back, we back. And again, I'm just gonna keep on hitting you guys with a special guest. Um, right now we got a special guest, and I believe I did authors. I've interviewed authors before, but um, not sure if they weren't here for the sole purpose of the book.
Okay.
So, introduce yourself for the people who may not know
First of all, you were so smooth. I just gotta say that. My name is Raquel
you. Thank
Shelton. I am the author of Dreams Bigger Than Texas. Dreams Bigger Than Texas is an incredible Rose from Concrete story of a
you.
young woman coming of age, overcoming adversities, her strive towards success, growth into purpose, and womanhood. It's a hood story. It's a love story. It's a story of hope, strength, and tenacity.
We love hood love stories.
Yes,
Yeah, we do. We do.
absolutely.
So I want to kind of like break down like the title because I think the title is I think it's dope and I think it's a attention getter.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of want to break it down because you're talking about dreams, and I feel like since this is kind of like your memoirs, maybe you have hello great people, great people of the Facebook world.
Absolutely.
I don't know what to call them. But I kind of feel like maybe you have done this research because I haven't had the time to kind of like do the introspective research because I still dream,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and it's clear about your title that you still dream. But
Absolutely.
like how and why? How did you not give up on it? Because I feel like society as a whole they kind of like take them from you after a while. You know, the adult responsibilities and kind of like take your dreams. Like how did you keep yours?
Keep my That's a really great question. First, I want to dive into the premise behind the title. So, Dreams Bigger Than Texas. I went to undergrad at Texas Southern University in Houston, and everything
Mm-hmm.
is bigger in Texas.
Yeah.
So, my dreams superseded where I was physically. I had aspirations to be beyond just attending college. I do agree that a lot of people's dreams are deferred. It's so easy. Life, society, hardships will suck the energy out of you.
Mm-hmm.
And if you lose your dreams and hopes, like what more do you have? You really don't have anything to aspire to be. For me personally, my background, and we'll dive into it as we talk about the book, it is a memoir. It's a story of hope. This character, myself, was born into a substance abusive, violent, drug abusive background and things of those sorts that I was exposed to. I wanted to be more than my surroundings. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that is what motivated me and gave me the drive to kind of dream bigger and to see beyond where I was. I knew I wanted more. Not having anything made me want everything.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So it was kind of like what you said, kind of like did you know um how was you aware? Because I feel like that's still like a level of awareness to know that you didn't have everything, that there was
mhm.
more out there. So where did that come from?
For me, one thing in my household, I say this often, my mother thing was make sure you get your GED, don't bring any babies in this house. And for whatever reason, I was like, a GED, man, I gotta get that, gotta get that. And then I was like, is there something beyond it? Is there something higher than a GED?
Mm-hmm.
So once I learned that I can actually get a high school diploma and then I could go away to college and then go to school again, I was like, okay, I want that one. I don't want to just stop here. I want that one. So just having that awareness, I think exposure is key for
Mm-hmm.
people. Sometimes you just don't know what's out there until you have someone that is doing things that you may be interested in, or until you just kind of get locked in and find exposure, get yourself exposed.
I completely agree. So what? Because it just seemed like I think of a book and I'm like, that's just such a lofty task,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
it's a it's a marathon. So what even prompted like this is what I'm gonna do? Because first of all, you got to kind of like see yourself and say like I got a story.
Mhm.
So how did that even come about?
That's a great question too. I want to welcome my Facebook Live people. Thank you all for supporting. I see you
Hey,
guys.
Facebook Live. Hey
Hey,
ladies.
hey.
Hey ladies. No.
Yeah, writing a book is no easy feat. I started this project in 2007, actually. My senior year in college, I was 2 weeks away from graduating. And I was like, man, how did I get here? Just reflecting on my life and where I came from. I was like, I know I need to share this. You know what I mean? This is not really a light thing. It may not seem like everything to some of our elite upper echelon people, but for me to be the first in my family to go off to college and to graduate, that was a really big deal. So I
Mm-hmm.
knew, like, okay, I need to share this story. The writing sat still for a couple of years. And then I got reignited. I found my purpose in 2009, tutoring on the south side of Chicago at a high
Okay.
school. So I would meet all these amazing youth that had similar backgrounds, whether their mom was, dealing with drugs or substance abusive or in bad relationships or gang affiliated. And to see all this great potential but stagnated by their environment and what they see in society, I wanted them to know that there's more out there, and I share a similar story to them, and I overcome those adversities. You can too. So working with the youth really just reignited my fire and gave me that desire to publish this book. I'm like, okay, I need to get this out sooner than later. There are a lot of young people that can benefit from it. So that's what gave me that extra push, like, okay, get this done now. So here we are. I did a Kickstarter. I had some amazing people support me, and we did a great fundraiser, and we're literally 2 days away from the release party. It's definitely been a journey. I'm really excited to see this thing come to fruition. You put blood, sweat, and tears, and I've been working on this for years. Specifically the last year I locked down and just been nonstop every single day. So to finally see the manifestation of something that you've prayed about, you thought about, it's
It gotta be awesome feeling.
it's a great feeling, man. I can't even express. I'm excited. I'm nervous. It's a lot of components, but I'm ready to get this thing done.
Well, is there? This is what would get me. So I'm gonna ask you that question. Just the revealing of all of this stuff. How do you even deal with that? I'm a personal person. I don't know if I'll be able to. I have the
To
courage to
just
do
tell
it.
it all, and
Yeah.
it's scary. I can't front. It's a very weird space to be vulnerable, but I think sometime when you share your story, you can free others. People need to know that they're not by themselves.
Mm,
People need to know that if she could do it or she could overcome this, I can too. And I like to say that my obligation is greater than my frustration. I'm obligated to be who I needed growing up. And the more youth and lives that I work to impact, when I see them, it's like, I can stand a little embarrassment because it's real, it's raw, it's relatable. We all have dirt or junk. I think the beauty in it is just being strong enough to expose it, you know. So 2 people have already got the copy. I've been joking, saying I feel like the guy on The Best Man
Oh, do you?
because the 2 people that got the copy, they're texting like, "What is this?
They're
That?"
passing it around.
So I'm nervous, but I'm excited. It's very tasteful. It's I
Okay.
can't tell it all, so everything's not on there. It's not in there, but enough to encourage and inspire people. That's the overall goal. You know what I mean? So it's
Definitely.
bigger than me. This task is bigger than me.
That's dope. That actually seems to be the theme of today, which was just with my guests in general. It's
What's that?
bigger.
It's big.
It's
Yeah,
bigger than
it's
that.
greater.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we look outside of ourselves, people are waiting on us to be who we're supposed to be. Because when
Mm-hmm.
we step into who we're really supposed to be, then we can help other people be who they're supposed to be. Like lives are connected to us. I feel like everyone has a unique gift or something amazing inside of them. So until you operate in everything you were created to be, it just trickles down. Other people benefit from it.
I completely agree. So another question I had. So you said earlier about your mom and the GED. As the woman you are now, like, have you sat down and kind of like had that conversation with her about kind of like what that did to you and things of that nature? Have you and mom set it out?
That's a really great question. Well, first and foremost, I want to say she's been clean and sober for like over 25 years. So
Oh
this is, yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
Shout out to my mother. I hope you're watching. So yeah, these are, I think, well, we're having this conversation as I'm sharing this story. It is again one of those things where it's uncomfortable, but I think it's necessary for healing. And so we've talked through some things. I think after the book is actually released, she'll get a chance to. It'll open the floor for a lot of dialogue. I think culturally, as a people, sometimes we're stuck in this. What happens in this house stays in this house. So don't do this. So don't worry about that. But that hinders growth until we
That's so
can
damaging.
honestly, yeah, absolutely have conversations, and move through things and just bring about healing. I feel like we flourish. We're supposed to be better each generation. She did the best she could with what she had. This generation got to get better. And when I have my children, they need to work harder than I worked. So that's
Mm-hmm.
what it's all about for me.
Okay. Okay. So I believe I don't know if we kind of answered this. But so why Texas? I understand that. I understand the title. I get that, but we're here. You're from here. Just like
Uh huh.
we couldn't like do the little italic
Dreams bigger than
Chicago.
Illinois, dreams bigger than Chicago. And shout out to my Houston friends and Texas Southern friends. Well,
We're here now.
we're here. You know, Chicago will always be home, and I've actually lived a couple places. I mean, for me, again, I was in Houston, Texas, and that's what I feel like.
Is that what sparked the idea?
That's exactly my senior year in college. I was like, man, I'm not even supposed to graduate because statistically, I should have been pregnant, a teen mom, on drugs, awarded to stay. I could have been anything. So to be weeks away from graduating at school in Texas, I'm like, man, this is crazy. This is wild. So the title "Dreams Bigger Than Texas" it just superseded where I was. I wanted more than even where I was then. So that's where it came from. But love Chicago always. You know.
So, you just said you lived a lot of places. So, what did that do in terms of like your growth?
Great question too. And you have to get the book. I can't wait to come back and talk
We
about
gotta
it. Once
leak some of this
you gotta
information.
get the book. But moving around was kind of tough. Always just being the new person. I went to 3 different high schools and countless elementary different schools, and always a new person. So trying to fit in, but figure out who I was, and you know, and not really always knowing the circumstances why. It was just time to go. As soon as we hit a stride, it was time to move around. So I think it has given me that get up and go. Like I have no problem. Like now I live in Atlanta, Georgia. I've been there 3 years. So yeah, if it's time to pack up and move around, I've been used to that all my life. I know how to do that and roll with the punches.
But I even see that as a gift because I kind of had a similar situation. We didn't move. I didn't move as much, but I just moved at pivotal times,
Okay.
like right before high school, right before junior high, and so right now I'm a settler. Like
Okay.
wherever I am, like I hate moving, so
Right.
I feel like even that's a gift. That's
Yeah,
a skill.
yeah, and a girlfriend of mine brought that to my attention when I was deciding between. I actually moved to DC before I went to Atlanta, and that was like a 2 week decision. Let's go, you know. And my friend brought it to my attention. She was like, you know what, your childhood that's what prepared you. That's why you have no problem moving around when it's necessary, you know. So
Yeah, that's a gift. Believe it or not. Um, Now you staying in Atlanta.
I am in Atlanta. I've been there 3 years.
How's Atlanta been treating you?
Atlanta's cool, and shout out to my Atlanta people. I got to be cautious with my words.
No, you don't.
I don't
No, you
just
don't.
go
Just go ahead,
unfiltered.
just say
As
it.
soon as I walk out the building, they like what? But Atlanta's cool. It's the new Hollywood. Everyone's moving there. The entertainment industry. And I work in the media field, so it made sense. It was just a job decision. But yeah, it's a great space for people, young people, to thrive and make moves and do great things. It's a little superficial for me, but you know, Atlanta's
Yeah,
Atlanta. Yeah,
that's what happens
people
when it
just
turns to
reinvent themselves.
Hollywood.
They don't
Yeah,
even know who they are anymore. So no,
but
I
no
don't.
one on Facebook Live. We're not
No, of
talking
course not my face, but everyone there is authentic.
So, what do you foresee? Like, would you like to possibly, you said, you're in media. Would you want to possibly make this short film or?
Yes, everybody's asking me that. That's absolutely. I do. You have the HBCU element. You're with this character from childhood up. So you think of the Wood, Crooklyn, the coldest winter ever, the pursuit of happiness, being Mary Jane. So there's different facets of the character. So I could totally see multiple renditions. Even the crazy story she had with her girlfriends, hilarious, amazing, strength, power, all of those type of things. So yeah, I can see a sitcom or a movie or something being transformed. But my personal bigger picture after the book, I would like to use that as leverage to start a media-based nonprofit. My heart is with working with youth. So I want to use a book as a way to travel across the country and speak to inner city, underprivileged youth in every major city, whether it's Cleveland, Compton, Brooklyn, Chicago. I want to go to the roughest of the rough, the often forgotten kids, and speak to them as they're either leaving high school or getting ready for high school, to let them know you don't have to be those statistics or the things that they're exposed to. If I target those communities, 9 times out of 10, they live in poverty or they have similar backgrounds and elements. So if I could share some of my story to encourage them, that's the plan. So the book is really just a setup to give back and work with youth.
So you're a great interview because you just kind of like gave me the
Ha!
alley oop to my question, which was, I like to ask people who actually had stepped away from Chicago, kind of like, and then kind of came back. So my question is, you come back to Chicago, you see, you hear what's going on, and you're on the ground floor. I feel like,
Yeah.
you're talking to the
Uh-huh.
kids.
Absolutely.
What's the solution?
Man, great question. And again, just working in media myself, it's so unfortunate how Chicago is portrayed in many ways, because there are so many amazing things about the city beyond just the 6 or 7 neighborhoods. It's highly saturated with violence and gang, but people that are outside looking in, they'll never know that, because
A lot
if
of
all
people
they
don't know.
see is so many people got shot today, then that's what they walk away with. I think the main thing, and I worked for CPS, and I worked on the west side with all type of youth, and even dropping them at home, picking them up, letting them stay the night at my house. I think the main trend I've noticed is underexposure and just someone to believe in them. So until you say, hey, young lady, you are beautiful, you know what I mean? She doesn't need to feel that validation from young boys. Or until you say, of course you can go away to college, I'll help you with your financial aid. Or just, I think mentorship is just key. And really exposure until they have someone that looks like them, that's been through what they've been through, but that's doing other things. They know, okay, this is obtainable. You know what I mean? Because if they're role models or are someone with multiple kids, is not really educated or not really doing much with their life, that's who they look up to. So until they see people that they may aspire to be an author, a speaker. So I think exposure is key. Jobs, of course. I mean, we could break down the whole systematic racial disparities that keeps a lot of communities, specifically like that, impoverished. But overall, until there are opportunities and exposure, they'll never know what to aspire to be if they don't see it. You know what I mean?
I completely agree. And I have a friend whose daughter does like volleyball, swim, and stuff like that, and it's running a while. I'm like, but you got to do it. She needs the exposure.
She has to.
All right. So, but the thing is, why I completely agree with you, and I take what you say as fact, because I feel the same way about exposure. It seems really simple.
It does.
Why hasn't it been implemented?
I'll say this. Even when I had youth that's like, man, we're going downtown, they would speak about downtown like it's a new city. This is your neighborhood. Get on the bus and go there. You know what I mean? Yes.
Yeah.
Or the north side, or we don't go out south. We don't go out west. That's one thing, until you find a park, a neighborhood, a zoo. And then being different. A lot of people want to stay on a block or just kick it with their friends until you're that trendsetter that's like, no, I'm going to hang with this group of people, or just stepping outside of what you're not used to. I think that, and sometimes many of them just need that validation. Like, yeah, you can do that. Why not? So sometimes it's that teacher, it's that mentor, it's the after school program instructor, or someone that could just let them know you can. You know what I mean? So I think sometimes youth just, and if we're speaking youth specifically, they just need a little guidance, intangible people. Because if you come in all stuffy, they can't really relate to you. They're like, oh, she doesn't know what it's like on my neighborhood. She hasn't been on my block, or I don't know what, So, and for me, I'm able to relate to them because I understand and I get it, but I can still kick some knowledge in a way that they could grab it where they don't feel like they're being beat up about it.
I actually like stuffy people in hood environments because the kids break them down real quick.
Oh, yeah.
The kids will get you adjusted.
They will.
Yeah,
they will.
They will adjust.
They
you.
read through it easy.
So let's get back. So the book comes out in 2 days.
The book is actually out. So I went ahead and just released it because I knew I was coming to Chicago. And I knew that I would be doing these interviews. You can go to dreamsbiggerthantexas.com to get your copy.
I was doing the countdown and everything.
To learn more about it. Definitely, dreamsbiggerthantexas.com.
Okay.
And the release party is this Sunday at Mars Gallery from 5 to 7 p.m. Mars Gallery in the West Loop. And I have a promo going on right now. So if you go to the website, you can totally get taken care of. And for this week of the release. But the party is going to be really nice. We have No Try Do Sincere MCing, Christopher Lamarck performing, Antonio Monix that's doing spoken word. So it's going to be spoken word, live music, refreshments, drinks. I'm speaking. There will be book excerpts, great sounds provided. So it's a spot you want to be in. You can get your ticket at dreamsbiggerthantexas.eventbrite, or if you go to dreamsbiggerthantexas.com, which is my website, everything is there. So you don't want to miss it. I hope to see you Sunday. Are you?
I will be there.
You will be there.
I will be there.
Nice. I will be looking for you.
I'm on Dreams of Bigger in Texas right now. I'm on a website right now.
Fantastic.
If only the internet worked.
Uh,
But so you have that. Where can people follow you if they want to get in touch with you and the person?
Yes, I am on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at R Carla Danielle. That's RCARLA Danielle. Yep. R Carla Danielle on my Facebook, Twitter.
On everything?
On everything.
Okay.
And even if you go to dreamsbiglyntexas.com, you can click the follow me social media links.
All right. Again, I really appreciate this. This was refreshing.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I enjoyed it. UIC is a great space to be, and great read for the college students. As you're figuring out your next step.
You didn't go here. You just completely looked this place over. You was like, this ain't far enough.
I didn't attend here, but I still related with all college students.
No. Again, we appreciate it, and I definitely genuinely appreciate like what you're doing for the youth.
Thank you.
By sharing, like I said, I ain't built up the courage yet, but
we'll see. I might hide after the book is released. I may turn my phone off a couple of days.
I don't want to see you hanging over no balcony because you done messed up a wedding.
Everyone gonna be like, "You what? What is this?" No, it's all love though.
All right.
So thank you for having me. I appreciate my time here.
Thank you for showing up. We're finna get into some music, and y'all know y'all can find me every Friday here, same place, same time. But we finna get into some music right now.
Sweet. Hello, Facebook. Thank you guys for tuning in. Stephen, James, Connor, Bonnie, Rocco, Leah, Chris, Jay, Kenya, Kimberly, LaRon, Lakia, Frank, Chris, Shay, Crystal, Reginald, Jasmine, Jay, Clifford. Shout out to Clifford. I hope you're on your way to Chicago. Jerry, thank you for watching. King Bishop, I appreciate you. Latora Fain, thank you for watching. Latricia, Alex, Toussaint, Brian Ewell, Tim Anderson, it has been a pleasure. We're logging off. We got a 7 o'clock coming up. I'm still waiting for the location of that, so I may or may not be live. And if you're in the Chicagoland area, please be there Sunday. I would love to see you at Mars Gallery, 5 to 7 p.m. Dreams Bigland, Texas. Let's get it.